Hi everyone, I'm Horan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get into today's video, I just want to remind you all that if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below to be notified every time I upload. Uploads come every Sunday at 4 PM and the odd Wednesday as well. I do have the links to my social medias in the description below. I am on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, so if you don't follow me on those, make sure you do. Send me a message, say hello, because I'd love to hear from you all. So, let's get on to today's video. So as you've already guessed probably, this video is about my experience meeting Niall on the Flickr World Tour at his very first meet and greet in Dublin. And when I tell you, I literally sobbed when I bought these tickets because I was so like overwhelmed and shocked that I was actually like really about to meet this man. Obviously I'd already met Niall in like 2016, but that was kind of like a quick selfie and go, whereas this, I knew I kind of had more of an opportunity to kind of spend more time with him and like actually like give him a hug, have a real conversation with him. Plus I was older then as well. I was like 2 years older, so I was 18 when I actually met him in Dublin. So 2 years older, more mature, kind of knew what I wanted to say to him because I had it all planned out in my head for ages, which is probably one of the worst things I could have done. More on that later. But like I say, it was just so surreal. Like the second my mum kind of said, I've got the meet and greet ticket, I literally just bawled my eyes out. I just sat on my living room floor and just cried, and she was like, India, action stations, stand up, we have more tickets to buy. And I was like, but I'm meeting Niall! And I literally just Snapchatted all of my friends, like just a picture of me crying, and I was like, why? And there were so many more people as well kind of messaging me saying, we're meeting Niall as well in all different parts of the country. And I was just like, literally, go us. Go us. I love this for us. We're all meeting Niall on Flickr World Tour. It is what we deserve. So I'm not going to explain like too much of what happened when I kind of got to Dublin and the concert or anything. This is literally just my meet and greet experience. But if you do want to know what happened when I arrived in Dublin and what happened at the concert, then I will link my Flickr World Tour Dublin vlog in the description below, so you can go and have a look at that if you want to. Basically, I'm just literally going to start off by saying that I really want to tell you guys what happened in soundcheck, but for the life of me, I cannot remember. Like, I'm literally kind of trying to picture myself, because I was on centre barrier right in front of Niall, staring at this man, and I was just like, oh my god, he's real, and he's right in front of me. I honestly cannot remember what happened. I cannot remember what songs he soundchecked with us, what questions he answered, what he said. I can remember fully what he was wearing. He was wearing the On The Loose hoodie with some blue jeans, some kind of dark bluish jeans, and some sort of shoe. I don't even know what shoes he was wearing, to be honest. But I remember kind of walking in and seeing him in the hoodie, and I was just like, we're about to meet Niall in the On The Loose hoodie, and oh, it was so goodly. Oh. Soundcheck finished, and there was quite a few of us. I knew quite a few people in the Dublin meet and greet, so we're all kind of in a bit of a group, kind of gonna go in one at a time. We all kind of lined up together and we were like, what are you gonna say to him? What's your pose? Like, we didn't know what we were I kind of knew what I was gonna say to him, but I also kind of didn't, because what I did in my head, which was a really bad decision, and I definitely should not have done this, and I do not recommend anyone else do this, but I scripted out what I was gonna say, which is fine, but then I also scripted his answers. So I based what I was going to say to him off of what he was going to say to me. But obviously he can't read my mind, so he was obviously not going to stick to the script. But anyway, I'll tell you what he said. Like, I'll get to that, what he said. More and more people going through, and like literally they were going in, getting the picture and coming straight out. There was like barely any pause between people, and I was just like, what if this literally is just like a picture and go? Same again as golf. And I was just like, I've got so much I want to say to him. Like, I was doing the whole tour. At this point I was only doing 13 shows, so I was just like, I want to tell him that. I want to tell him I'm doing 13 shows, but if I don't have chance then I'm going to be really upset. I was just kind of thinking to myself, right, it's okay, it's alright, just if you keep your cool, you can have a conversation with him, because I had noticed that other people were taking their time in there. So I was like, obviously they are allowing conversations, that's fine. So I was like, right, okay, just take a deep breath, in and out, keep your cool, it's fine, it's only Niall. It is only Niall. It's only Niall, as if it's not literally Niall Horan, who I have been obsessed with since I was 11 years old. So basically, it got to like, you know, the girl in front of me went in and I was just like, I'm next. So I was like talking to security and I was just like, I am nervous. This is the most nervous I've ever been meeting Niall Horan, and I was just like, I barely knew what it was going to be like, because obviously with like the Flickr Sessions tour, people were doing meet and greets there, and they were kind of telling me their experiences and what it was like to meet and things like that. And like the key thing, I want you to remember this, the key thing people told me and what I read online was, he never interrupts you, he's such a good listener, he always really pays attention to what you have to say. So, you know, I'm going to tell you what actually happened to me when it was my turn. So basically, his security like looked up, the girl in front of me had gone, and it was my turn. So he was like, all right, off you go. And I just kind of paused, and I was like, it's my turn, it's my turn, it's my turn. So I kind of looked around the curtain, and Niall was standing there like looking back at me, and I was like, this man, he was literally standing right there, not even that far away from me. And I was like, ah. So I walked in and I was like, hello, and he put his arms out immediately, and I was like, oh my god, yes, please hug, big cuddle. So I gave him like the biggest hug, and that was the first time I'd ever hugged Niall, and I was like, oh, best hug ever, especially because he was wearing the On the Loose hoodie. It was literally such a cozy hug. I was like, yes, this is what we all deserve, the best hug off Niall. So I got my hug, and then I like looked him in the face, and I was like, I was just thinking, his eyes are so blue. They are so much more blue in real life than they are in pictures. Like, you look at pictures of this man and you're like, oh, his eyes are so blue. But you meet him in real life, you look into his eyes, they are like little, I don't know, like little oceans in his eyes. They are so, so, so blue. So I was like, kind of nervous looking this man in the eye. I was like, please can we do a hugging one? And he was like, yeah, of course. So he like put his arms around me, and I put my arms around him. So we were standing there, obviously cuddling in the photo, and I will insert it right here. And when I tell you that was the best hug I have ever received in my entire life, it was the best hug I've ever received in my entire life. Honestly, he is such, ugh. He's talked about it before in interviews, how he's a really good cuddler. He is not lying. He is not joking. So after we kind of got the picture, I was like, right, now's my time to shine. I am going to say what I need to say to him and get out, because I was like having a nervous breakdown in my head, and I just wanted to say what I needed to say to him and leave, so I could just be like, I met Niall, and I wanted to tell everyone about what had just happened. So basically, I pulled away from the hug, and I looked at him, and I was like, I don't know if you know me. And this is where the interrupting part comes in, because everyone had said to me, like I said before, Niall never interrupts you, he always looks you in the eye and really pays attention to what you have to say. So the first thing I said to this man was, I don't know if you know me. And I opened my mouth to carry on my sentence, and he went, where are you from? And I was like standing there like, pardon? What? You just interrupted what I was trying to say. So obviously I didn't say that to him, but in my head I was like, this man has just interrupted me. Now is not the time. I am too nervous for this to happen to me. So I was like staring back at him, just thinking, he's interrupted me and he's asked me a question. What do I do in this situation? So he was like, where are you from? So I was like, I don't know. Where am I from? That's a really good question. And he went, because you sound like you're from our Louis way. And I don't know which Louis he's talking about, whether he's talking about Louis from his band or Louis Tomlinson from One Direction. I still to this day don't know which Louis he's talking about, because both of them are northern. So I'm like, which one? So which one do you mean, sir? Because I don't know which one you mean. So I basically said to him, after he said, you sound like you're from our Louis way, and I was like, oh, well, actually we do live really close, because in my head I thought he meant Tomlinson, and it wasn't until after I left the meet and greet that I was like, he could have meant Corral. He could have meant Louis, his keyboard player in his band. And I just got that totally wrong, because obviously Louis from Doncaster, and where I'm from in Yorkshire is literally like not even an hour away. So we live really close. So I was like, oh yeah, we actually live really close. And he was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah. And then I kind of looked down at the floor and I was like, wait, no. And he just like stood back like, no, what? And I was like, just went back to what I was trying to say before. I was just like, no. I don't know if you know me, and then this time he didn't interrupt me, actually listened to what I had to say this time, and I was like, I haven't done a story time on this yet, but I am going to. Anyway, so I was like, I don't know if you know me, but I'm the girl that wore your primary school jumper in Ireland. And he was like, really? Were you wearing it on the barrier in Killarney? And I was like, yes, I was wearing it on the barrier in Killarney. And he was like, yeah, I saw you on the barrier, I'd know the emblem anywhere. So I was like, bestie knows me, bestie remembers me. What? So every single thought in my head left. The rest of what I wanted to say to him had just gone after he was like, I saw you on the barrier in Killarney, because I was like, this man has remembered me for 2 days. Because I saw him on the 10th of March in Killarney. This was March the 12th. This was 2 days later, and he remembered from Killarney that I was wearing the primary school jumper. So I was like, boy, what? So I was like, oh, yeah, I was wearing on the barrier in Killarney. And then that, I honestly, from then, I can't actually remember what happened. I think I just said, thank you, and just walked out and like kind of picked up my poster, went to try and find my phone, because we weren't allowed to take phones or anything in with us because you're not allowed to record. So I just went to like find my phone, and like the rest of my group who had already been in to meet him, and I still had people left behind me that needed to meet him. So I just went, found my phone with my poster, and I just sat on the floor and I sobbed, because I was like, this man remembers me, he recognises I'm northern because of my accent. Honestly, I thought this was literally the best day of my life. I was like, even my wedding day will never top this day, and my wedding day will never top that day, to be honest. My meet and greets with the boys will always come before my like wedding day, or even the birth of my children always come first, because you know, these boys mean the world to me. I will insert the clip of me sobbing on the floor in Dublin Arena, and you know, security coming over to be like, you're gonna have to go, because after we'd met Niall they were kind of encouraging us to leave, to go back into the queue to then be let in to the actual gig. Guys, I've literally just gone through and I've just met Niall. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. I feel so much. I'll tell you what happened a little bit later when I'm like, calm down, but oh my god, I just met Niall. So obviously me having a little breakdown on the floor was, you know, not helping. So they were like, you're gonna have to go. So I kind of cleared myself up a bit. I was trying to ring my mum and she wasn't answering the phone. I was having a breakdown. So I just went into my group chat and told everyone what happened, and then I was like tweeting all of what happened. And you know, I've kind of bookmarked those tweets now because I cannot forget that day. I refuse to forget whatever happened that day, because it was just so iconic, and I cannot thank Niall enough for being the best person on planet Earth that day, because it was like amazing with everyone else, kind of hearing my friends' stories with him and reading other people's. He was literally the nicest guy ever, and I just love that man so much. And yes, I mean, the gig, just in quickly, the gig was incredible. I was second row. Like, honestly, what a night. Obviously it's his home show, it was Dublin, like he was really like, let's get this, let's do it. And I was just like, yes sir, you are fantastic, you are doing so good. I remember as well, because obviously this was the very first meet and greet. We didn't know like how long it would take for the pictures to come out. We didn't know if it was going to be that day, the next day, like a week. We didn't know. All we knew was like that the pictures were coming. We just didn't know when. So I left the gig and said bye to everyone, and I was like, oh, I'll see you at this show, see you at that show, because quite a few of us were doing a few shows. So I kind of left, met up with my mum, we went to get some food, and on our way to get food, the pictures were released, because I logged into the account and I was just sitting there refreshing it, like refresh, and then the pictures started coming up slowly, and I was like, oh my god. So I started scrolling down, and I couldn't find, because I was quite near the back when I met Niall, So, you know, I had to scroll through everyone else's pictures, and I was like looking at everyone's pictures like, oh my god, look at this person's picture, and just scrolling through for ages. I think it was on like the 4th page, and I was like, this is so unfair. So when I finally like got to looking at my pictures, because I recognised the girl in front of me, so when I saw her picture I was like, right, my picture is next, mine is next. I scrolled down and I looked at it and I started sobbing again. I literally just got my meet and greet pictures to be with me and Niall. I love him so much. I fell in love with my photo. Literally, I was so in love. I had 2 as well. I had 2. They're exactly the same. You cannot tell a difference at them at all. They are exactly the same photo, but I have 2. So I was just like, I've got 2. So I was sobbing. I was trying to tweet. I had a tweet planned out. I saved it in my drafts. So I was like, right, I'm gonna post this with the photos when I get them through. I didn't do that at all. I literally put the photos on, typed in a caption and just pressed tweet, and I was one of the first people to tweet the pictures, and it literally like circled Twitter, and I was like, I can't believe it's real, and everyone was congratulating me, all of my friends commenting. So yes, that is basically my experience meeting Niall for, I would probably count the first time properly. Very surreal day. Still can't really get over it. Can't believe it actually is a real thing that I did. And like, it's so strange kind of thinking that I actually kind of left the meet and greet and had a mini breakdown, just cried, because I'm so not like that. Like with anyone, well, I'm not gonna say with anyone, I have had breakdowns meeting celebrities before, but Niall's like one of the only celebrities that I meet where I don't kind of get like the shakes or like, oh my god, when I'm meeting him. He's literally like, to me now, he's just Niall. He's just like a normal guy to me, and I quite like that, to be fair, that I kind of see him in that light, because he is literally just a normal guy. So like when I met Harry, I had a breakdown. When I met Liam, I had the shakes and I couldn't calm down for ages. When I first met Louis, I literally just could not, like, my energy was just like, I was so hyped. And then meeting Niall, obviously I was hyped as well this time. But then since then, I'm just so like chill around him, because he's just one of those personalities that just makes you really chill and just like, oh, laid back, because he's just like that himself. I'm like Louis now, I'm not like that with Louis anymore. Not really like that with Liam anymore. Don't know about Harry, only met him once. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, Niall's just like one of these people that just does not make me have a breakdown after I meet him, and I always feel bad because he's my favourite, so you'd expect me to have more, you know, more sobbing sprees every time I meet him. And that is basically the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a massive thumbs up, as I have got more meet and greet experiences with Niall like this that were kind of unexpected, because I met him another 2 times on this tour and I didn't know, like I literally did not know until like either the day of or a couple of days before. So you know, surprise. And obviously I've met him at other things as well since, so if you would like to see those, give this video a massive thumbs up, and like I said earlier, subscribe if you haven't already, because they will be coming. They are on their way. It may not be like next week, but they are on their way, and I cannot wait to film them and share my experiences meeting Niall with you guys. Also, if you have any more questions on what happened when I met Niall this day, or if you have any questions on me meeting any of the other boys, then please comment down below. I will be happy to answer all of your questions. And that is basically it. I just want to finish this video by telling you all to follow your passion, make it happen, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!